Hello and everybody, and welcome back to our Sweden Let's Play. We need to sphere Denmark and Norway. We just formed the Kalmar Union. We're not going to abandon the Finnish. No sir. Not anytime soon. But other than that, our first thing is to reform the Scandinavian customs union, so we need 100 prestige and nationalism and imperialism. Right now we're going down functionalism. 1850 will allow us to get nationalism and imperialism, and impressionism is probably going to get us up to 100 prestige eventually. We have all these really OP prestige buffs that are going to get us there. So, that being said, our infamy is at 8. We could probably honestly go for another colonial war pretty soon here. Just to get another head start before the scramble for Africa goes. But that being said, let's get along with it. We are discredited, so we're not going to influence in Schleswig-Holstein. For now, we're going to just keep on trucking. Our policy is interventionism. How are we doing on intellectuals? We are almost done having to influence intellectuals. Encourage intellectuals, rather. We're spending a lot on military. We can drop that. I don't see us going to war anytime soon. Wari nationalists do have a chance of breaking out at some point. Maybe it might be worth it to keep us on like half maintenance. So that's where we're at right now. It doesn't really look like anything important is going to happen. So the first, Beethoven Fest. In 1845, the greatest living musicians of Germany fulfilled their project to erect a monument in memory of Ludwig van Beethoven. Born in the city of Bonn in 1770, Beethoven is viewed by many as the most influential composer of the 19th century. The last inauguration of the monument was celebrated. The inauguration of the monument was celebrated with a great music feast in which Franz Liszt took part. High-ranking monarchs of the German states and whole Europe joined the festivity, which marked by unbelievable musical mastership, scandals, and diplomatic issues between the great powers. Anyway, Beethoven was a symbol of the unresting German national spirit and the values of liberty and democracy. An invitation for me, unexpected, or classical music is overrated. I don't really care about our relation with Prussia. It quite honestly doesn't concern me. We could try allying the Austrians, just for some protection against Prussia. But who knows how long that will take, you know? I would like to sphere Belgium at some point. Belgium has some good RGOs, lots of iron and coal, which we are in need of desperately. I believe, do we have machine parts? No, we don't. There is a research tech that gives us good factory throughput and some prestige, and prestige is the most important part. So that's something that we do want to invent soon. Which one gives us, I believe it's precision tools. I think it's I'm pretty sure it's semi-automation. Increase our influence in Finland. I think we want I think we want to go for state and government just so we can get the Kalmar Union, the customs union, up and running as soon as possible. Forming the Scandinavian nation is going to be easily just getting that right off the bat is going to help us a lot going forward in the game. As I kind of predicted, Wari nationalists rose up. Let's raise our maintenance. Oh, we got banned. Usually they will discredit you before. Maybe Finland isn't an important nation. No, it is. Or rather, that is an interesting nation. But it was. We just got banned. Okay, I need to be a little more attentive with my sphering. We have Belgium as an interesting nation. No. I like having everyone as interesting nations. That way you can keep track of what's happening in your nation. Because very frequently you will instead get, you'll get banned and you'll never know. So it's kind of important to remember that. I think I'll put some more, I think I'm going to put some more soldiers in Africa. Just so we can basically keep putting down these Wari nationalists who are just getting annoying at this point. And our guys almost lost that battle. That was pretty close. So yeah, that's something important I want to look out for. Are we at 2%? Okay, we are at 2%. Our administrative efficiency everywhere is pretty high. We're going to encourage bureaucrats just a little bit until state efficiency gets to 100 there. We have one national focus, which is one of the big reasons why forming Scandinavia is going to help us out a lot. It's going to give us more national focuses, which is just a huge part of any. Which is just a huge part of, becoming a powerhouse in this game. Okay, genetics hereditary, great. More pop growth, always good. We're going to take the blood and iron mine. I don't really care about pop militancy, as you can kind of see, we're doing pretty well on it. So, who cares, right? Almost 1848. Austria is going to start exploding, as they always do. Okay, great, 100%. The German Stag happened. So let's see here. After that, maybe we go into trying to get, experimental railroad. Well, one of the big things, actually, is to be prepared for the colonial conquest game that is going to come up in 1880. So maybe, well, actually, really what we need to do, we got dropped to neutral. Okay, we're going to be a little bit more careful going forward. Culture, we can't invent any more culture things. Let's see. Yeah, I think I want to get to semi-automation as soon as possible. 1848. We're at 5. At less than 5 infamy, I think I would like to... Yeah, I think I would like to go after another African state. Once again, the larger foothold we have in Africa at the very beginning, one of the big things that I want to do is be able to have access into Africa as soon as possible, because you can declare on adjacent or accessible countries. So initially I can't declare on the Sokoto Caliphate, but if I attack Benin, and then I'll have CB on Sokoto when the scramble for Africa begins. Ugh, we got banned again. I really need to pay more attention. Sheesh. Okay, we really don't need to be influencing. We're really wasting our influence points by not influencing anyone here. So, let's see. Hungary broke free. Good for them. What would be a useful nation for us to go after? Alright, Schleswig-Holstein, of course. Italian War of Independence. Oh, that's France. What am I thinking? Abdication of Ferdinand I. We'll see how that goes. I remember in the Krakow game, Hungary remained independent because we, as Krakow, took the decision that didn't get us owned by the Austrians, which is always a good thing to do. We're at 5.51. The Sunderbund War. I've been reading about that recently. The Sunderbund War, I completely forgot to read the pop-up. But Sunderbund War, these are basically the Catholic cantons of Switzerland, as you can tell by the Catholic Conservative Party being in charge. And it's basically a reaction of, according to people who were contemporary journalists at the time, like Marx and Engels, who were writing about the Sonderbund War, this was the reaction of some, what they would call primitive peasants, essentially, to like more advanced forms of agriculture. Because, if you notice, here in the mountains, they are, there's just not a lot of cultivizable land. And, so they're like very small holding peasants. And these people want to speculate on their land. Switzerland, as replicated in this game, is kind of liberal federal republic. And, that's very proto-capitalist, so like a lot of them want to like take over their land, and these people are like, I actually want to remain a weird Alpish peasant farmer who wears lederhosen and shit. That would be quite funny. Okay, so the French Revolution of 1847 happens. Brings back the French Republic. No more Kingdom of France, folks. We're done with it. We're done with it, says the Kingdom of France. That's what you thought. Man, I wish like the July monarchy and all that stuff could happen. I know that it's a France, HFM has a includes the French flavor mod. They don't even talk about the July monarchy. Sad. Okay, let's see what semi-automation would do for us. 1849. Plenty of time to save up for biologism, which would come free at 1850. Now, our literacy is 85%, which is, honestly almost so good that you don't need to worry about it. But that being said, when are we banned? Until August? And we are discredited here, so we're going to do this little trick of barely increasing. Looks like France is going to try and sphere them anyways. Hopefully they ban the Netherlands. I would like for them to ban the Netherlands. But I think they're going to try and sphere. Relations minus 60. We need to bump up those relations. It's going to make it very hard to influence them compared to Prussia. faction wants to build a cannery. We're going to help them with that. Let's see how the rest of our factories are doing. Now that we're at 100%, I'm going to start encouraging craftsmen. Get our industry score up. Sunderbund War has been lost. Neuchâtel still exists. Finland, our name has been discredited. Okay. That's okay. Yep. this whole arrangement happened. I forget that this happens in this mod. Holstein and Schleswig get broken up. So in that case, we're going to be influencing Schleswig. Prussia will probably ban us. Yeah. Set them as interesting. We're also going to set them as interesting. We're below 25, we're below 5 infamy, so I'm going to start justifying to create a protectorate on Benin, which gets discovered immediately and gives us a shit ton of infamy. But that's okay. We're gonna be Jingos. We're gonna fight for our country. Alright, we're gonna save up for Darwinism, because Darwinism is OP. The United States didn't win the war. They didn't win the Mexican-American War, which is cool. Interesting. Free trade, we hate free trade, we want protectionism. Increase our opinion just a little bit. Just lower. Oh, they dropped our relations. That's very rude of you. First of all. I apologize for my dog eating her bone in the background. It is very surprising to me that Mexico managed to win. Oh, they allied the UK. Man, that's going to be interesting. I wonder if the UK can stop Manifest Destiny. That'll be interesting to see. We got the CB. We're going to go to war. Like I said, that's going to allow us to go up into the Sokoto Caliphate almost immediately. And once the scramble for Africa opens up, which is going to help us a lot. Our advisors got discredited. Schleswig, so we're going to lower relations here. Going to start. That should allow us to peace out Benin. However you pronounce it. Oh, my goodness. Completely forgot. My. Very disappointing. So, in my mind, I think we go... I think we go for Impressionism next, just to get that sweet, sweet prestige. That will allow us to form the Kalmar, reform the customs union even quicker. And then, like, after that, I think, once we form the customs union... Okay, I'm sorry. Colonial education policy. Here in these far-flung places, forgotten it seems both by God and civilization, barbaric native practices foreign to the mind of any civilized man still persist, along with widespread illiteracy, unsanitary living conditions, and the sheer ignorance of unenlightened minds. The Colonial Office has published a report on the social conditions in the colonies, and it is not exactly a sunny reading. Many of the people in the colonies still live under the conditions of a European Dark Age, or worse, and the Colonial Office strongly suggests that something be done. In more literacy, or we gain prestige and research points. I'm really not sure. Literacy is... Would that increase by an entire percent? Or would it be 10? I guess it would be 10%. But I don't really see the point of that. Our literacy is doing fine as is. I would prefer maybe to just, like, gain more shit. So. And the prestige never hurts either. Do I need to take that bone away from you, Deefer? You're really going ham on it. California Republic. Aren't they going to get annexed? That would be funny. Man, the US is just going to be completely incompetent this game, I suppose. Going to increase that. We allowed to build machine parts factories yet? No. Belgium will allow us to increase opinion. Cool. They got removed from Sphere. That's interesting. We are no longer discredited here. We're going to drop the relations to a little bit. Okay. Suffrage movement. But we also could outlaw slavery, which would be extremely good for us. Suffrage movement isn't too radical right now. I think we're just going to outlaw slavery. How much people are slaves? 9.3%. Where are all of our slaves? I'm interested now. There are 0 slaves in Norland. Yeah, I'm not interested in Norland. So they're almost all here, and they're almost all producing, like, cattle. Tropical wood, but I think they're more efficient as what do you call it? Honestly, I think they're more efficient as laborers. So if we go to outlawed, so let's look at this. This is going to be interesting. Just to see as like a demonstration of how what do you call it? Of how pops work. Right, okay, so our culture, it's almost all African people who are all slaves. So let's select all pops. So right now, slaves are at 11.7%. So, let's see if they become farmers or laborers, artisans or whatever. Let's see what increases the most. And we outlaw slavery. Population. They almost all became laborers. I guess. I wasn't really paying attention. Oh my. Kind of gave up the game there. That's okay. Yeah. 51% of our population is animist. Sweden is very depopulated. Alright, so we're going to continue. And we're just going to keep doing our thing. You know, we're going to keep our... We do need to keep... We could build sawmills, which are just OP. Since we have so much lumber. Sawmills make a shit ton of money in this game, in case you weren't aware. I couldn't tell you exactly why. The liberals are gaining a lot of steam, which is not good for us. Light, we're going to sacrifice our prestige, even though that's, you know, one of the worst things we can do in this playthrough right now. 44 troops to Prussia's 65. They will not accept still. We're going to increase relations with them. Schleswig, we also need to increase relations with. We have not been discredited recently. We're on cordial relations with them. Prussia is not increasing their hold on Schleswig, which is good. And add to sphere for Sicily, and we're going to drop their priority to 1. Go up here. Just make sure that we're not getting banned by the French. We can increase opinion here. Great. What are the accepted? North German and Danish. Alright, Colonial Crisis. I argue that the resurgence of native unrest in the colony is due only to the continued and repeated and wanted mismanagement of our own officials. So Benin could gain militancy, or bureaucrats will gain militancy. I'm gonna take that. Those classes are not very revolutionary. They're not going to cause any problems for us for a while. We got a second national focus. Let's encourage craftsmen again in one of our most populous states. In Gothenburg, tropical wood. What does tropical wood? Okay. One of the things I would like to do is take what? What's going on there? How do I randomly have 3 national focuses? Something is not right. Did I just discover a bug somehow? Okay, well, someone will need to tell me what just happened there. That is something I have never seen. Oh, machine parts, finally. Okay, great. I believe the decision is machine parts factory in Stockholm. So we're going to build a machine parts factory here. Even though it's probably not going to be very populated. Still going to do that. Somehow we have 3 national focuses well, only have 2. Having 2, technically. So I'm going to have to figure out how that happened. One way or another. They really hate us, but that's because we have all this infamy from declaring wars in Africa. We'll always take losing the militancy. Suffrage movement, people are a little bit pissed. That's okay. All allowed rights is something that I also want to immediately propose, just so that we can get that assimilation rate going. We're going to have a lot of people here in Gothenburg, so what I would like to do is build another sawmill, since we are creating so much. I mean, look at us. We're already mainly exporting lumber. Okay, we can remove this from Prussia's sphere. Fantastic. Russia is just not influencing Schleswig at all. Do they need them to form Germany? Yeah. That is interesting. I do want someone to ally with. Maybe after the Crimean War, they'll break their alliance with Russia. Will break their alliance with France, and we can use them to go after Prussia. Prussia is going to be our main opponent for a while here. Now we're going to start researching nationalism and imperialism. The suffrage movement has gotten pissed enough at us, so we're going to give them what they want. The name has been discredited. Usually I don't want, yeah, okay. We're not going to influence under a discredit, even though that did set off the AI and increasing their influence. What we can do right now is just increase relations with them to make sure that eventually we're on good standing with them. For Belgium, we can increase our opinion to friendly. France is increasing. We're going to decrease a little bit. Gonna wait and see here. Okay, so they're at 25. Let's start influencing. See if they'll just waste their points on a discredit. Because that's really what I want them to do. But, you know, you never know what's going to happen. Our lumber factories are losing a lot of money somehow, which I find very strange. But that's okay. I mean, we mostly export lumber. I don't know what the deal is there. It's not like we, whatever. What is going on here? Are they not docked at a port? That is a port. But yeah, whenever you're playing these small European nations, going into Africa is going to be a major source of your like soldier populations and everything. So we can either take militancy or consciousness. We're always going to take consciousness. Militancy is just bad unless you're deliberately trying to lose to a revolution. Which, you know, is never a bad idea if you want, like, a proletarian dictatorship government form, which is easily one of the best government forms in this game, just by, like, the central planning alone gives your factories a much needed boost, because without capitalists, you're just going to have a hard time funding your factories and everything, so... I could not tell you why I am... Oh, we're No, we're exporting. Very strange. Okay, we got dropped to cordial. So in that case, I'm just going to increase. We're not discredited here anymore. Now we are again. They want to ally us. Good. These election decisions I usually just don't. Mines Commission. We could get limited safety regulations or local consciousness. So 1860. Let's take the minimum safety regulations. Doesn't really bother me all that much. Currently, we are spending most of our money on military stuff. Everybody's just decreasing my relations with Belgium, and, you know, quite frankly, that's very rude of them. Who are you at war with, sir? Oh, the Opium War. Of course. Of course, of course, of course. Discredited until 1854. We are losing a lot of money. We don't want to be losing money. That is bad. Sawmills. These things that I thought were going to be very profitable are not profitable. So we'll just let them die. We can take the Volks. There we go, Metallwerkstatt. Alright. Metallwerkstatt, Metallwerk or machine shop, was founded in 1822 by Balthasar von Platen during the building of the Gotha Canal. During the foremanship of Otto Edvard Karlsund from blah blah blah, became one of Sweden's most internationally renowned manufacturers. The workshop is mentioned in Jules Verne's novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea as having produced parts for the novel's fictional Nautilus submarine. Cool. Neat. We're at 91 prestige. So once we get there, all right. So now we are in. I think we really do need railroad techs. That's just going to happen. So that's the first thing that we need. We're gonna drop our military spending and our ship spending to be positive in the budget. Sawmills closed. We export iron now. So that's interesting. So we could create maybe a steel factory instead here. A steel mill. I do need places with coal. I need to sphere places with coal. Maybe we could sphere Persia. We're probably going to get banned in Persia. We're no longer discredited. And we got banned in Chesapeake. I need to be more careful with myself, but that's okay. We're going to go down more railroads here. At 92 prestige. Just need 100. We just need 100 to form that great thing. Let's see, we can do the Valley of the Kings, which will give us infamy, but that's okay. Nice, okay. Very important. We are very close to that glorious prestige, 100 prestige that will allow us to form the Scandinavian Customs Union. An archaeological museum that will put us over the fence here. Now that we have excavation rights, yep, great. An archaeological museum, and now we have the ability to make the Scandinavian Customs Union. So that will give RGO throughput more. So we're gonna take that. Open the borders. All right. So as that is done, one of our next goal for next episode will be to form Scandinavia, Scandinavian Political Union, which will be prestige at least 200 and have invented revolution and counter-revolution. So then that adds all of these different things and we will turn into Scandinavia. So that is well down the line, seeing as revolution and counter-revolution is an 1870 tech. So we can kind of put ourselves on better ground by, for example, adding, it's going to give us opportunity to, being in the having all these cores is going to help us a lot. It's going to give us more accepted pops, and just generally it's going to, for now, in the next few episodes, we're going to focus on getting in better military shape and getting in better industrial shape. So, that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.